Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Brian Shields. I don't want to waste your time, so I want to actually go out of order a little bit. I want to get right into the forecast because what I'm watching for you are two areas of flooding, the potential of that near Trinidad and Tobago, near Grenada, Guyana. I want to show you, though, it's going to be a very close call who gets flooding and who doesn't. And then over here, this spot, this is going to bring, I should even move that down a little bit, including Panama, Costa Rica, by the way. We're going to see some flooding in this area. I want to get very specific for this because mudslides, a high likelihood, life-threatening flooding here, and a possibility of something trying to spin up tropically. That possibility still exists. So let me do this. Let me get right into the forecast for you so you know what's next, what's going to happen. Now, this is today. This is this afternoon. What I'm going to do is start in the Eastern Caribbean, and then I'm going to work into the Western Caribbean. So Eastern Caribbean, let's get to you again with some of that rain. You see it here, Trinidad, Tobago, Guyana, Suriname. We've got a tropical wave that's been passing by, moisture behind it. Now look at this. This is by tomorrow afternoon, okay? So this is by 5 o'clock tomorrow. A very close call on where the rain goes. Some forecasts are easier for me, some are tougher. That's how the weather goes. This one's a little trickier because there's going to be a very sharp divide between some dry air to the north and the very heavy rain to the south. Close call for Trinidad and Tobago as of now. Southern zones, that better chance of rain, and then that high chance of rain in Guyana, in northern Suriname, seeing some of that rain elsewhere. Passing showers in Anguilla, Antigua, Barbuda, Guadeloupe, St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, Barbados. Now, this is by our Friday. On our Friday, you see the same thing, and that's why this is a concern, because we had the flooding a couple days ago, still some around in spots in Trinidad, for example. If we get more rain, it's going to be easy to flood because you saw for yourself those river levels going up. We had the street flooding in many spots, so ground is saturated. So again, that is a big issue, but it's still a sharp divide on who gets the heavier rain and who doesn't. But I just want you to be aware, watching also St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, now the ABC Islands, Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, we're going to be once again really in between systems. Now, this is what's going on as far as the rain is concerned. Through today, through tomorrow, through Friday. 3-day rain total for you to kind of look ahead. And you can see again the color here. Blue would be a passing shower, may catch 10 millimeters, 25 millimeters of rain. That's what we'll see generally central, northeastern Caribbean, back through Puerto Rico, British and U.S. Virgin Islands. But you can see here these brighter colors. That's why this is a concern. We're going to see some flooding in Guyana and Suriname because we're going to have some totals that will top out around 75 millimeters of rain to about 100 millimeters of rain, especially in Guyana and northern Venezuela. But it's such a close call in Trinidad and Tobago on how much of this rain creeps in. Again, right now 25 millimeters to 75 millimeters. It's kind of a wide variety, if you will, but I'm watching it closely, but you see it for yourself. Again, very sharp divide. I want to show you some of the live information. I'll do that in just a second. Now, let me switch here as promised to the Western Caribbean, and this is where we could see the potential of a quick spin up of a tropical depression or tropical storm. Now, I mentioned the flood threat here. This is some life-threatening flooding. Panama, Costa Rica, and parts of Nicaragua. Higher terrain, we're going to see that intense runoff. Mudslides, landslides, whatever you want to call them, slides are going to happen in some spots. You see this. This is by tomorrow afternoon. And we have been talking about this together, I think for about 2 weeks now, that we would see this as that very big hot spot for that rain building. Honduras, eastern and southern end, better chance of rain. Then by the time we get into Friday, let me stop it here late on Friday. Now, Belize, Mexico, Cayman Islands, Jamaica. I'm watching how close this gets to us. Still a wait and see. Most of it looks just to the south. I know we need the rain desperately in spots, but here on Friday, you see this blob of rain here. I mentioned the water temperatures there. They are boiling upwards of 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So again, very, very steamy there. 29 degrees, 30 degrees Celsius plus in some spots. So with that, there could be a little spin up of a tropical system here that would kind of swing in this direction, kind of this way toward Honduras and Nicaragua. But either way, regardless of that, the flooding is the concern because you see it for yourself. Again, once again, 3 days of rain, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, watching Honduras, and you see how close we get to Jamaica with some of this rain, watching northern Colombia as well. So again, this is a big issue. And look at this. Look at this big blob of rain. Now, if this stays over the water, obviously no issue with that. But the issue is we're going to see that rain on land. Costa Rica, especially coastal sections of Nicaragua, Panama. Look at these whites. easily over 100 millimeters of rain. We could see upwards of 150 millimeters of rain in spots. That's why I mentioned life-threatening flooding. The passes where you're driving, you hit the rivers and the streams. There's going to be intense runoff in this. Honduras, mainly south and east, watching that eastern zones the next few days. Hopefully this blob doesn't completely move in. That would be a bigger issue, but you could see that flooding there. And then a wait and see to see how far this lifts to the north, how much rain we could get near the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Belize, and Mexico. Now, let me get back to the live information. What is going on right now? And you could see it. This is exactly what I'm watching. You see this blob here, so it is developing. So I do have high confidence in the forecast that we're going to get a ton of rain here. Now, let me show you this. Let me get a little more specific back into the eastern Caribbean. You see here near Trinidad and Tobago, you see the blob of rain that's getting closer. Now, it is going to be such a sharp divide, as I mentioned, again, between the dry air and that heavier rain. So let me zoom down, Trinidad, Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, and you can see here, it just depends on kind of how this comes in, and it's going to be a close call. Does the rain stay south of Trinidad, or does it come right in? It's still going to be a wait and see. Just I kind of got to watch it as we go forward, but because we had that flooding before, that's obviously a concern. So again, please leave your comments. Let us know what's going on. Let me know, let everyone know here what's going on in the comments. That helps all of us. This is a weather community. I do this, I love weather. I do this for you for safety's sake, and I love tracking the weather. Don't want any bad weather though, so that's always a concern for me. Guyana, Suriname, right on the edge of the rain. Guyana, high likelihood of the rain. Now, elsewhere, we've got these tropical waves that have been working their way through. Not seeing development out of these, but again, seeing this one working in, another one here, and another one here. Now, I had some questions yesterday. Northeastern Caribbean, we have been so dry, so hot. When does this work up to the north? Eventually, these will be a little more to the north, but it may be another 2 to 3 weeks. There are some signs we could get a little more action trying to squeak by, even north of Barbados, by the time we get into late this month, but it could be a little bit a while before that pattern really does change. Now, this out here, we are starting to see some signs of development. This blob here, even if it does develop, it stays away. Another blob here. So the Eastern Pacific is getting more active. Always watching Mexico and even California. We had crazy tropical weather in Southern California last year, but if these develop, and the National Hurricane Center is seeing a low chance of that, if these develop, they should stay over the open waters. All right, let's get a look at the forecast now in some spots. And again, I rotate these locations. Lots to cover. I do my best. 20-30% chance of rain the next couple days. I'll keep an eye on Friday in Belize because, again, I want to see how that system develops and how close it does get. Costa Rica, though, this is the huge concern. I mentioned Nicaragua, Panama. Please spread the word. Life-threatening flooding of potential. Watching out for that potential of mudslides. We swing back through Jamaica. 20-30% chance again Friday, Saturday. Just seeing how close it gets, but the rain chance at least temporarily down. 30% chance in the Bahamas. Not as active as we've seen over the last 6 to 7 days. In Haiti, this is kind of pop-up stuff. Haiti, even the Dominican Republic, even into Puerto Rico. Again, a passing shower storm, 20, 30, 40% chance, not widespread. It is so hot, and we're still dealing with those water shortages in many spots. Same thing, St. Kitts and Nevis, rain chance 20%. We had a couple little showers nearby last night, but that doesn't put a huge dent in the rain deficit. We need to get more to help out with that deficit. Agriculture, filling up the cisterns and all that stuff. Guadeloupe and Martinique, same thing, 20, 30% chance of rain. 30% chance Barbados and St. Lucia. Most of that heavy rain stays just down to the south. Grenada, as I mentioned, with Trinidad and Tobago, close call, but rain chance a little higher tomorrow, upwards of a 60% chance. Keep me posted on your end, and keeping this forecast as I've had it, about a 50 to 60% chance of rain Trinidad and Tobago, because northern a little drier, better chance of rain to the south. I showed you how it's kind of that fine line, a very close call on what we get in Guyana. I was highlighting you earlier in Suriname with those rain totals, high likelihood of flooding in parts of Guyana and very close to the coast in Suriname. So those two large areas of rain, plus more dust around. Today's the day more of that dust moves into the Eastern Caribbean. We've been talking about that. Western Caribbean, still that possibility of something trying to spin up tropical depression or tropical storm. But either way, regardless, you don't need a named system to have big issues, and we're going to see those landslides and flooding, as I've been highlighting. By the way, the next name on the list is Brett. Wait and see when that forms. So I'm thinking of you if you're dealing with this flooding. I'm watching things as carefully as I can for you. I will keep you posted. By the way, my friends in the United States, some heavier weather, severe weather, southeastern United States, Mississippi, Alabama, parts of Georgia today, thinking of you. So we've got weather all over the place as we get into this summertime pattern. Keep me posted on what you have or what you don't have. I hope you have a good rest of your day.